Excuse me, sir. Nice car. What do you do for a living?
Oh, hi there. What was the question?
Nice car. What do you do for a living?
Well, I sell drugs to little kids. That's on the weekends. I do drugs, and on top of that, what I do for a living? Well, according to this guy right here, I push right-wing propaganda. I push people to the right, and I make people Nazis. And I'm also extremely racist, homophobic, and transphobic. But yeah, that's all I do. You know, just your everyday stuff, if you will. Any other questions?
No. Thank you for your
Do you
time.
have any drugs on you, real quick?
No.
Yeah, I think I see some. Let me, I want to talk to you. Nice meeting you, though. Now you can get out of my house. I have no idea how you found where I live, and quite frankly, I am a little disturbed. But now, if you excuse me, I have a video to react to, aka some bills to pay. So now, if you excuse me, I'm just gonna walk in slow motion and get out of here. Leave before I call the cops.
Man, he was so rude. What a jerk.
Yeah, I told you to get out of here. I'm gonna kill you and your family. I don't care. Get the camera out of my face.
Okay, we are back at the desk. So this YouTuber called idubbbz Media recently made a 2-hour video on Ethanisonline, and it covers a lot of stuff that I didn't even know existed. And I've been Ethan's biggest op since October of 2022 when he decided to attack me out of nowhere. And quite frankly, it hurt my feelings. And even though I keep saying this, I do think this is a definitive last Ethan video. I don't see how I'm ever going to top this one. Now, of course, because I'm an egomaniac, I'm only gonna take a look at my section, which is this one right here, which is the fact that there's Ethan versus Oscar, and it goes on for, what is it, like 15-20 minutes. And another reason why I wanted to talk about this video is because idubbbz Media did his job. Shout out to him. Go subscribe. He has banger content. I highly recommend him. And if I were to say a third reason, is because there's a really, and I mean really handsome guy to the left. If we're being honest, just between you and me, I mean that is the main reason why I'm watching this and I'm clicking on it. Anyways, with that said, I am pretty hyped to see this. I've seen a little bit of it. I want to see the Ethanisonline origin story. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like, just get right into it. This is going to be a long one, but a fun one. That's what she said.
Ethan created his channel back in 2014, simply calling it Seorai. His early content is deleted, though the oldest video on his channel is from January 2017, when he was 17 years old. And honestly, these videos are alright. Ethan was clearly inspired by the edgy commentary channels of the time, like idubbbz and Ethan Klein, with his oldest public video being a rant about the channel Mr. Gear. He'd slowly start to post more consistently, though it's possible he deleted much of his older videos. It featured a mix of video game content, reviews, and short commentary style content. Most notable is his video on Anision, where we get to see what Ethan used to look like. God, he looks like a normal person. What happened? It's really interesting to hear Ethan give good takes, which is especially impressive since Anision wasn't as hated back in 2017. Still hated, but not as much as he is now.
What happened to this guy? And this was peak. Knowing where he is now, quite sad if you ask me. It's a shame that all of this potential went to waste. And I swear to God, in another universe, we were friends. Maybe I was the gay autistic person he shoved into a locker.
Something that I'll also commend him for is his editing skills. It really stood out to me in his 2003 Hulk video, and it clearly caught people's attention. I mean, soon, he'd start editing for another YouTuber, Nick is Not Green, a consistent character in our story. This is something Ethan would mention in his 2021 Q&A video, which he made around the time he reached 4,000 subscribers.
See guys, here, I think he's still savable. There's some people that say, oh, you can't fix X person or this person's beyond saving. I think at this point, I mean, granted, you know, he's friends with Nick at this point, and we all know how Nick's career went. I don't think he was a lost cause. If I'm being serious, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself because I do have a lot to say when it comes to the Ethan Oscar section, but I still don't know what his plan was when he decided to call me out. Such a strange move that ultimately backfired. Who did it benefit more? Me. You know, like I said before, I don't mind responding to people or confronting people, or if someone calls me out, I have no problem replying to them. Why, Ethan? Please tell me. I need to know before I pass away.
Breadtubers are basically left-wing online creators who discuss political topics alongside other issues in pop culture. It's very evident here that Ethan was inspired by this type of content to make his own, using it to go after an easy target like Ben. Not saying that's a bad thing, but it's obvious that Ethan was seeing how this was received by his audience before tackling other topics. He'd also make videos criticizing other conservative content like the Babylonian Bee, a Jim Brewer comedy special, and Sigma male TikToks. Ethan would realize that these sorts of videos did way better than his usual content, typically doubling or tripling in views. This would skyrocket him into emerging leftist spaces on YouTube, where he'd become friends with our good pal Nick. Of course these guys are friends. The apple doesn't fall far from the retard. Now one of the main videos that really put Ethan on the map was Lazy Content is Radicalizing People, where he goes after a certain type of commentary channel. You know, the ones who talk about random internet news of Leafy-style gameplay footage. Again, this video could have been fine, but the way he criticizes these guys comes off as spiteful and hypocritical. Specifically, his lousy attempt at going after a sensitive society.
Oh shit, here we go. This is Rocky 3. Alright, this is oh my god, I still can't believe I was a part of this. There's a lot of things I want to say here. Yet another reason why I wanted to make this video, because I want to correct some things that I've said in the past, and I think this is the perfect way to address certain things, or just say them better. Hindsight is 2020, and this was over 2 years ago, I believe, and I like to believe in the span of those 2 years I've changed for the best. I'm excited for this. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of it.
Sensitive Society makes your typical daily commentary videos, and Crony has over 500,000 subscribers. Channels like this are bound to get into drama, with his biggest being the many back and forths he's had with Ethan here. Ethan is seemingly going after him because he believes channels like this are radicalizing people into believing right-wing talking points. It's really flimsy because a lot of that is just Ethan not liking jokes made at the expense of fat people.
Sorry to keep pausing, but I just want to address this very quickly. Like, the whole right-wing pipeline and his whole argument was so stupid, and I wish I could have done a better job at taking it apart. I just didn't take this seriously at all. I was just there to fuck around, say random shit, you know, when I'm talking to him later on. I wish I could have done a better job in being more serious about it, because, you know, this is 2 years ago. I was just like, nah, fuck this thing. I'm just gonna troll him. I'm just gonna say anything stupid. Don't get me wrong, it's funny, but I wish I would have gone a bit more serious at points. But I never really understood how I was the main guy to lead people into the right-wing pipeline or propaganda or whatever he was saying. Because to me, and feel free to correct me, guys, I've always just been the guy that sees something, has an opinion on it, talks about it, moves on to the next thing. It's not like my main mission for YouTube was like, you know, I'm going to convert all those people from the left to the right. I never got that argument, nor did I really understand why he decided to go after me when he could have gone after people that are actually doing that. I guess it's just one of those top 20 mysteries we'll never know. Like, out of everyone you could have picked, you decide to go after the guy who's reacting to TikToks and cringy TikToks. And my dying wish is to one day know the reason why. Please, Ethan, I want to know.
Like, oh my god, being honest about how much you hate fat people for looking fat is way less disturbing than what you just said. Obviously, being fat is not a fucking choice. The amount of corn sweeteners and things that do not need them in the United States is unreal.
Ethan, it's called self-control. It's crazy how much of a victim he plays and how he's like, oh, you can't do anything about that. When later on I mentioned that and I expand on it, this video was done in bad taste. And he was like, well, I want to take him down. You know what I mean? Or I want to make sure he doesn't grow anymore. Or I want to, you know, snipe him. And clearly that did not work. But just so over the top, like if this video would have dropped nowadays, like in 2024, 2025, I think I would have responded and handled the situation a lot differently. You can't be perfect.
There's high fructose corn syrup in things like chips, crackers, bread, and not only that, but there are a multitude of factors that dictate your weight. Genetics being the most important factor.
Does this guy not know what self-control is? Oh, it's not my fault I weigh 400 pounds. It's all the stuff they put in my food. Okay, then just don't eat that food. This is literally the logic of an addict. This rant goes on for another minute, by the way. Just him blaming being fat on stuff outside his control, like genetics.
Now, I always say this, if you have a medical condition or it's like beyond you because you were born a certain way, that's fine. I will never make fun of someone for something they cannot change. You could change your weight. You're just honestly lazy.
But you totally would and probably have. You just had an unhinged rant about made up fat people who can't stop eating burgers, not a real thing.
Ethan, buddy, that's clearly you. Bro went from a normal looking guy to looking like the soy boy stereotype. Honestly, he's probably where that joke started from. Ethan first calls out Oscar over the video, "People like this disgust me," which he fails to link in the description. Why? Well, because he cuts Oscar out of context and doesn't want his audience to know that.
Started my day pretty early at around 2 a.m, so I went to my local gas station for a couple drinks, went home and did my normal usual routine, and then I had to go to Walmart because my fridge was almost empty.
You're acting like this is the hardest thing in the world.
Hey man, so when did he say that? When did he ever say the word hard or any synonym? You have the clips, like you could show
I
it.
don't know how many of you guys remember, but I'm always like, this guy keeps cutting me out of context, and I'm like bitching and crying about it. It's not like I just made that up because I was bored. I'm like, oh, what can I come at him for? I'm not making that up. He genuinely did. Just so he and his points look better than mine. That was a pretty shady thing to do, Ethan. I'm still pretty upset you did that and humiliated me in front of, you know, hundreds of thousands of people and potentially cost me subscribers. So, you know what? I'm not gonna be forgiven. Fuck this guy. You're a loser and your mom hates you and you should have been aborted. Anyways, let's just continue the video.
When did he ever say the word hard or any synonym? You have the clips, like you could show it.
God, I hate how smug he is about this. Here's what Ethan purposely cut out.
Content creation is harder than your 9 to 5. You really don't know how much hard work goes into creating multiple videos a day. Being constantly creative with new video ideas, trying to make footage look good, getting new shots, taking many takes over and over.
Oh no, you didn't. This man said harder than working a 9 to 5.
This is really dishonest from Ethan, and he knows his audience isn't going to seek out the original. Ethan goes on about this one video for another 10 minutes, and just repeats the same points about how Oscar is pretentious and makes lazy content, which could be valid criticism, but it gets annoying fast. What Ethan is trying to do is label Oscar as a gateway to the far right, radicalizing people by presenting groups in a negative light. It really isn't that deep.
Just to clear my name up and the allegations against me, that video wasn't me just making fun of fat people for no reason. Like, I've never done that. I don't think I've ever been like, well, today let's just make fun of, I don't know, fat people. No, I was reacting to a video. I've never made a video just been like, yeah, you're fat, so let me make fun of you for 8 minutes. No, I've never done that before. Just want to make that clear. I want to make that clear. I don't hate fat people. That was not what those videos were about.
This is behavior I've noticed from other leftists like Noah Samson, by claiming they're a gateway to the alt-right because they don't share the exact same beliefs as them.
Some of my viewers are conservative, some of my viewers are left-wing. I think his biggest concern is that the left-wing part of my audience are going to suddenly be exposed to the most dangerous thing of all, which is a different perspective. God forbid people on the left explore some of the viewpoints that exist on the right, because that is scary.
If you want to say that Oscar's videos are lazy, go ahead. I mean, he'd probably agree with you. But you lose me when you necessarily bring politics into it, to label Oscar something he's clearly not.
I do feel bad for the people who are just minding their own business, plus size people, if you will, and they just get shit on for no reason. I don't think that's cool. I think you're just a fucking dick and a douchebag if you're harassing innocent people.
Yeah, I actually fully agree. You know, for example, if you made videos called "She thinks being fat is healthy and we should only date fat people," here's my response. These people think being fat is healthy. If you're not fat, you're fat phobic.
And if you guys notice with all of these clips, these are in quotation marks because I'm not saying it right. I've already addressed this video before. How is this me just attacking people? And as a matter of fact, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. This person DM'd me on, was it Twitter or Instagram? It was one of those two way back in the day. We talked things out. She was nice. She was polite. Everything went well. And I found it extremely interesting that Ethan never once mentioned that, nor did he bring that video up. And it wasn't me just attacking blindly, by the way. I want to make that very clear as well. So the examples that he's just flashing on screen, of course, it's to make me look bad and discredit me and be like, look at this fat phobic, evil villain. So that's something that also pissed me off.
You're fat phobic, not something anyone has ever said, not something anyone has ever said. Gen Z thinks being skinny is racist. Again, no one thinks that.
It's me taking what people are saying and putting it to the titles. Do you not see the fucking thumbnail from this person? Genuine question, Ethan, are you retarded? Like, what is wrong with you? This is 2 years old and I'm still mind blown. He thought he could get away with just flashing these titles and people will not think anything of it. They'll be like, oh yeah, this guy's clearly fat phobic. He hates all fat people. He wants to kill every single fat person he runs into. It's a very bad faith.
Outside.
Ethan, he's calling out the extremists in the fat acceptance movement. Those aren't normal people minding their own business. Also, the gall for this guy to say go outside when he looks like he's about to tell me about the harvest moon.
Steven Crowder thinks exactly the way Sensitive Society does about fat people.
There he is again, comparing Sensitive Society to a conservative. This is reaching In Praise of Shadows levels of bad. Oh wow, this guy makes fun of fat activists? You know who else makes fun of them? Fascists.
Sensitive Society and the gang of freaks that all make videos just like him constantly lure people into more and more radicalizing content. You watch a video where Sensitive Society says a fat person on Broadway is like a blind person flying a plane, then you find out, oh hey, Ben Shapiro thinks that way too. Oh hey, they've both done videos about how much they hate Lizzo. Oh, Jordan Peterson also hates black and fat people.
To this day, this is the fucking dumbest point I've heard in my life, and yes, I've heard mine, and I still cannot believe people didn't question this. This argument could legitimately apply to anything. You could be like, oh, I love water, you know, I don't want no kidney stones, I love to stay hydrated, I love water. And this guy would be like, oh, you like water? You know who else drank water and who really enjoyed it? Hitler. That's how these people think. And there's nothing you can do to change your mind. I appreciate you putting me or my videos in the thumbnail, you know, showing me love It could have been a little nicer. You didn't have to be so mean to me. I guess you really saw me as this big evil guy, when in reality, you know what? I'm just chilling. I'm just vibing. I'm just reacting and talking about whatever I want. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. If you've been watching the content for a few weeks, days, or years, I think that should be enough so you can kind of get an idea of how I am or the type of humor or vibe I have. And if that's not your vibe, that's awesome. I'm not here to please everyone. You know, if you enjoy the content, you do, and if you don't, you don't. I'm not here to force you to watch me.
2 weeks later, Oscar would respond back with a video humorously titled, "Addressing the allegations made against me." To make things short, Oscar thinks making his videos out to be political is dumb, and he agrees that his content is lazy.
All you need to do is keyword search a woman through any of these weirdos videos, and it kind of tells you all you need to know. It's lazy content. Let's not beat around the bush here.
Yeah, you're damn right. It's lazy content, and I've said this many times that I make in about an hour and a half. I don't know how this is an insult. Like, I've never hidden the fact that it's easy, lazy content to make. Don't get me wrong, I love making it, and it's really fun.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I want to address, and that I hear myself say. I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of cringe. And I don't know why I said an hour and a half. I think I just said it because I'm like, oh yeah, you're calling me lazy? I'm gonna show you how lazy I am. I make my videos in 2 seconds. It's all AI because the videos don't take an hour and a half. They actually take an hour and 45 minutes. To these people, lazy content is content that doesn't take a month and a half to do. Is my content quote unquote easy to make? Sure. Can anyone do it? Yeah, but I think it boils down, and the reason, if you were to ask me, why do people come back, or why do people watch me in the first place? Obviously, the topics, the people that I talk about, and the personality, you know, whether that's the humor, the sarcasm, the way I talk. I think that's one of the driving factors, for better or for worse. Just for the record, my content does not take an hour and a half. If I have to address the allegations, I think nowadays it's like 3 hours, and that's just the recording and editing. That's not even, you know, looking for topics and stuff. I don't know why I said an hour and a half. I was so cocky, like, oh yeah, I do this shit in 2 minutes. Yeah, that's something that I cringe at. And I guess I would just try to like own him and be like, oh, you're calling my content lazy? Let me show you how lazy I am. And I should have gone about it differently. I guess in a way to get at him, I discredited myself a little bit. Well, not discredited myself, but I was like, okay, well, let me show you how low I could go. And I wasn't cooking with that line.
Besides that, there really aren't any other big points he makes. It's just him shitposting. Sometime after this, Ethan would respond back on stream, uploading it as a video to his second channel titled, "This guy begged for me to see his response video, LMAO." It's incredibly boring because he just restates his original points over and over again. If you want to watch it yourself, the link is down below. I'm skipping it because it's just really fucking boring. The two would enter a stalemate of sorts, with neither really being seen as clearly in the right. Again, Oscar wasn't really trying to make any grand points against Ethan, he was just having a laugh. The drama would re-spark in mid-20...
Yeah, that was the thing. I wasn't taking this drama seriously. Like, I was just like, this is the dumbest yet funniest thing I've seen. I never expected to be in that situation. This is 2022, right? I had only blown up in 2021, so this was low-key a little newish to me. I've never been in that situation before, and you know, I'm not here to make excuses, but so that's about a year after I blew up for the first time. So I didn't really know the best way to handle this, so I was just like, I'm just gonna fuck around. It's not serious, you know what I mean? It's just stupid internet drama, and this guy doesn't like me, so let me respond. It's not like that response video is my magnum opus. I do think it's funny. Just been this whole drama, at least for me, it's just been funny to see this guy being so pressed and so mad over my videos, and he's literally crashing out, and I'm just here just fucking around. I'm not taking this shit seriously. I'm not taking him as a threat seriously. I'm gonna say dumb shit. I'm gonna say whatever comes to mind. I'm not gonna take this seriously. That was my mentality going in, and to be honest, that's just been my whole mentality. For this situation, actually for my whole life.
The drama would re-spark in mid-2023, when Sensitive Society covered idubbbz apology video. Ethan used this as an opportunity to make another video on Oscar, while also covering other commentary channels' takes on the apology. I'll cover this video in the next section, but this would lead to Oscar making a response back. He mainly covers how Ethan twists what people say in order to go after them, and also makes fun of them.
The way idubbbz is talking about this is like if you went to Africa, brought like 10, 15 little boys to America, and idubbbz made those people slaves and fed him nothing but beans and water. They didn't. Why does it look like he's fucking nutty? Does my voice really turn you on that much? I will have to say this: cool Garfield plushie and cool lava lamp. If I was 10, I would definitely be rocking this.
Now, sometime after this video, Ethan would invite Oscar on stream for a conversation. That's at least how it was pitched to Oscar. This is pretty much the climax of their feud, and I just have to go over it because it's a goldmine of stupidity. It's very clear from the start that Ethan doesn't want to have a conversation, as whenever Oscar elaborates on something, Ethan cuts him off and pretends he's changing the subject.
Very quickly before we get into this amazing debate. To me, this was never a debate. I want to make that very clear. To me, I saw this as just a conversation. Like, I've never claimed to be a, you know, top tier debater. I don't watch debates. I don't care for debates. I don't care about debating. I will never debate anyone in my life. It's not for me. I don't care for it. I'm just here to have fun, make funny videos, have a great time, make money. That's all I'm here for, to be honest. Have fun, make money. Like, I'm not here to debate people and own people, whether that's the left or the right. I'm just a guy with an opinion that sometimes it's bueno, sometimes it's bad. Yeah, that's opinions. So was I taking this seriously? Absolutely not. I tried to get under his skin just to piss him off. I was just like, well, how far could I push this?
Deceptively made, really harmful right-wing content because it was the autoplay of your next video and they feel the same. They say the same thing.
This is such a unique argument because it's like, well, your video was next on autoplay or bench.
No. I'm telling you.
How is my fault? And on top of that, I want to say, this is regarding this and regarding everything. I am not responsible.
Okay, so we're not talking about what I'm talking. We're moving on from what I was talking about. Cool.
Okay, I'll just address it here.
Oh my god, I fucking forgot how annoying it was to talk when he just kept cutting me off. Because, like, I was trying to answer one thing, and then he would jump to something else, and that would, like, throw me off. So I'm like, what are we talking about? Are we still talking about the first thing or the second? He just kept jumping from topic to topic. I think at that point, I was just like, all right, man, I'm done. I'm just gonna fuck with you. I'm just gonna troll you, if you will. I'm just gonna get a little silly. It was so annoying to try and get something across. And he was just like, nah, let's just talk about this. And you asked me something, I'm here to talk about it. And then he switched it, and I'm like, yeah, I was starting to get pissed off.
Well, you just don't want to talk about what you're moving on.
Bro, let the guy talk.
Let me speak!
Now, while I do agree with the basics of what Oscar is saying, he isn't the best debater. Though to be fair to him, he didn't come on expecting a debate. Ethan continually makes the conversation hostile, and even begins smoking weed to calm himself down.
I'm going to break this down, Oscar, and I need you to follow me. I need you to follow me.
Okay, I'm gonna put my weed down just to focus on you.
I'm going to pick my weed up.
Smoke it.
You said that.
Buddy, can you not just put the weed pen down for a couple of hours? Imagine the smell of that house, man. I bet his girlfriend is just as much of a weed addict. You can clearly tell that he's furious, and needs the stuff to keep him from yelling and screaming at Oscar. The two talk a lot about fat acceptance, with Ethan trying to get Oscar's perspective. Ethan asks if Oscar was ever fat.
What was your heaviest? Are you comfortable talking about your weight? What was your heaviest?
Well, I wasn't like a fat fuck or anything. Like, I just had a little...
Why would you say that? That's just, like, rude. Why would, like... I think that's just because you're insecure you said that. That's weird.
What, fat fuck?
Yeah. You're like, I wasn't like a fat fuck. I was cooler than that. Like, I was better than that. That wasn't me. It's like, you have to understand how you sound when you say stuff like that. It's so weird.
Oh my god, why would you ever say that? That's so hurtful.
I've never seen his stream, his chat's reaction when I say that. It's hilarious. Oh my god, ew, dude, Christ, this is crazy. He's not you. I just love to see his chat freaking out, like, oh my god. I cannot believe I just heard that. Like, just look at his chat explode as soon as I say that.
That wasn't me. It's like, you have to understand how you sound when you say stuff like that. It's so weird.
What the hell? That was just uncalled for.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know a lot of people don't like how it feels, Oscar.
Yeah.
I don't like, I'm a little overweight. I don't like how it feels.
So do something about it.
I am, asshole. It's really frustrating that your fucking audience keeps commenting that shit when I do.
Nah, he walked right into that one. No, I cooked, all right? I cooked. Chat, did I cook or did I not? That always gets me. That shit's hilarious.
I used to be heavier, dickhead. But it's, you don't fucking change overnight.
Now you're the one getting mad.
You literally were just like, do something about it. Fuck off, asshole. It's mean. You're mean. When you talk about weight shit, you're mean, and I don't like it.
God, this is hilariously dumb. I find it funny how this guy goes on a full tangent about how it was mean to make comments about his appearance, as if he doesn't do that to others.
If he shaved everything but his mustache, he would look scary. He would look frightening. Beard is giving Easter Island silhouette. Yeah, he does look like that. Someone point out he looks like from his profile, he looks like a crescent moon. Why does he look like that? Why are his eyes yellow like a Sith Lord? Why does he feel like he was built in Detroit Become Human? Who is this man? I'm frightened of him. If I described to you a balding white man with a podcast who peaked in high school, you'd probably be able to perfectly capture exactly what this man looks like. Sorry to inject him into your head.
And I think it's fine to make these comments. The difference is, Ethan can't handle it himself. He can't stand being told to take accountability over his weight, something that he can't change. Yet he'll call out people he doesn't like over things that can't change.
Ethan making fun of other people's appearance, but the second you do it to him, that's not very epic.
Also, I just flat out don't believe him when he says he used to be heavier. I don't imagine he got super skinny by 18, only to gain weight again. He clearly doesn't want to take accountability over his problems. Towards the end of this conversation, Ethan mentions his friendship with Nick and their music project, Queef Jerky. Oscar, jokingly, wants to go to one of their shows and be brought on stage.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch the show. I'm not gonna bar you from coming in.
But like, can I be like a special guest so I can get booed?
Nope.
No?
No.
Oh, come on. I'd like to be in a poster or something, like right next to you guys.
No, never.
Queef Jerky is a music group consisting of Nick Is Not Green and his girlfriend, Dev Lemons. The conversation ends on weird terms, with Oscar jokingly trying to befriend Ethan and him not buying it. This rivalry probably could have ended here, though some upcoming drama would change things.
I don't think I'm ever gonna have a enemy, or as the kids say, an op as big as Ethanisonline. Like how far it went and how long it went on for. I mean, it's been over 2 years. He made a video on me, I made 2. Then he responds, I make 2. And then he goes back at it for whatever reason. And then I'm like, okay, well, you want to go again? It's just like, it just never fucking ends. I do feel like this is the climax. A little sad, right? A little heartbreaking. I don't think I've ever experienced this much pain, and this is definitely worse than a heartbreak, because you could always find another girlfriend, right? You know, there's a billion women out there, but can you always find an enemy on YouTube? Nah, not as frequently. Definitely top 5 saddest moments of my life.
During last year's idubbbz drama, Ethan would weigh in with, "The response to idubbbz apology is gross." Now if you want the full context of what he's talking about, go check out my idubbbz documentary. To keep things short, Ian, or idubbbz, got into drama last year for his disastrous charity boxing event, which involved drama of one of the fighters, Froggy Fresh. During the midst of this, Ian apologized for his old edgy content, which involved him jokingly using some no-no words. Many criticized this apology for the timing and how performative it was. As he treated this old content as a burden he'd had to deal with for the rest of his life. In my opinion, Ian was doing this to purge his channel of his older audience, since they were critical of his recent actions. Ethan would be one of the few YouTubers to defend Ian, using it as an excuse to go after a few commentary channels he didn't like. One of those was Sensitive Society, who he mainly just called unfunny while being unfunny himself. He also claims that idubbbz fanbase is radicalized to an extreme level.
You just made YouTube videos. It's not that serious.
He made videos that weird, sick freaks like Sensitive Society praised and took so seriously and held him on such a pedestal. That's why this video is even able to exist, is because people took his content to such a weird, unhealthy extreme.
I find this funny because Ethan himself was a fan of Ian's old content, stating this in the intro.
I used to be a fan of old idubbbz, and I was also very ignorant while I watched that content as well. And as someone who was de-radicalized, I think this video that Ian put out is pretty important.
Ethan then briefly mentions a few other channels like Cabos and Jamari, getting offended at a sex worker joke made by the latter. Ethan would delete the video. After mentioning it in a previous video, it randomly appeared on the Internet Archive, so I uploaded it myself. That's how bad this video is, even by Ethan's standards.
There's still some stuff to cover that involves me, and like I always say, I don't want to steal someone else's hard work, so that's why I'm only reacting to the sections that include me. But don't get me wrong, the whole video is really fucking good. It's a great look at everything that's led to Ethan's downfall. It's not because I'm a huge egomaniac. Well, maybe sometimes, but for the most part, no, I just want to, you know, cover my stuff because, and I could give more context to people and right some wrongs that I've done. Because if I reacted to the whole video, this video would be like 3.5 hours long.
On December 6, 2023, Ethan would send Oscar the following DM. "What's up, bitch? Sounds like you have a lot to say about me online. You want to talk again? If not, get my dick out of your mouth and make some real content." Oscar posted this with the caption, "Someone is mad." He then replied to this with, "Ethan, how is your relationship with Nick Is Not Green?" Ethan responded with, "Bad. I thought you were the one making videos about how evil he is, or whatever. You clearly don't know your facts. Stop getting distracted by other people you want to clout chase from." This started a war. A one-sided war that Ethan got himself into over spite. Bro, your channel and Nick's are deader than mine, I don't need clout from either of you. You both are really good lolcows though. So everyone in the commentary community appreciates you for being dumb and pretty much ruining Nick's YouTube career. Also, can I get free tickets for your next concert? I'm a fan of Queef Jerky.
I cannot believe this was a year ago. I remember this. And I do remember this Twitter exchange. This was back when I used Twitter, right? Now if you see it, I'm not really active at all because Twitter is cancer. More than ever, if you could believe that. So I'm just not active on Twitter. But I remember this go down and I had so much fun. As you guys could see, more of me being goofy and fucking around and not taking the situation at all seriously, knowing that Ethan was indeed taking the situation very seriously and very much to heart. You know, I always gotta shoot my shot. So, you know, I was like, yo, can I get free tickets to your concert? I'm looking kind of upset that I will never in my life be able to see his band live.
I got a question. Why didn't you defend your girlfriend on your channel? Why did you have to beg your friend Nick for it, huh? I mean, it's your girl, right? You both were smoking together, celebrating Super Mega going down. Why not post it to your channel? Bitch, I was already accused of grifting without doing that. Why would I? Why don't you answer my DM instead of stalking my replies, stupid? Sounds to me like you're a shitty boyfriend, Ethan. You put her on blast, and then when everyone exploded in your face, you blame everyone but yourself. Do you actually know how much pain you're causing people? Not only Lex, but a lot of other people. I don't know how you sleep at night. You're straight up a monster.
I love how I'm just fucking around and Ethan is calling me an idiot, a bitch, and multiple times. If you guys notice, I'm not being mean here. I could have called Ethan a billion different things, right? But I decided to be the bigger man. You know what? I don't take YouTube stuff seriously. You know, if someone's mad at me, or someone on Twitter or Reddit, if someone's mad at me if they don't like my content, if they're mad because I milk or because the content is boring or slop or whatever, I don't care. I don't take it personal. I really don't take it seriously because it's online. And the second I close my phone or I, you know, shut down my computer, I have a life. I don't live online. Despite what my upload schedule might suggest, the hate never really got to me. I have things to do, like play Fortnite and the Rock Band. That's not to invalidate valid criticism that I've gone. And I think that's a big difference between me and Ethan, because Ethan is online, no pun intended, and this is everything to him. Yeah, this is a big part of my life, but it's not like I live here and I cry myself to sleep every time someone on Reddit says, this guy sucks, or every time someone on Twitter is like, this guy sucks. It's like, I don't care. I think that's a big difference between people like me and people like Ethan, and I prefer to be offline. If I wasn't a YouTuber, I would not have any form of social media.
LMAO says the drama worm who riffs off the whole story. I didn't put Lex on blast. Dumbass YouTube video essayist did by getting the facts wrong over and over. I'm putting you on blast. Do you not realize how much of a villain you sound like right now? There's absolutely no way anyone is going to support you with the vile, childish way you're acting. Get fucked, as you like to say, bitch. Shipple Dipple will then post this video mocking Ethan.
This guy doesn't leave me alone. I guess I'm gonna have to send him a little message, I guess. Well, let's see.
What's up, bitch? Sounds like you have a lot to say about me online. You want to talk again? If not, get my dick out of your mouth and go make some real content.
And send. Mess with the dog, you get the bite.
Ethan then questions why Oscar had to make the original tweet in the first place, as if he wasn't being totally unhinged. LMAO couldn't respond before getting her dick writers and creepy little buddies to tell you what to say. Why are you being so mean towards me? I thought we were friends, what the fuck? Because you're a bad person, Oscar. I was too nice when we talked before, and you literally clip-chimped me for months, hahaha. I thought you were cool with bullying. I never said I was cool with bullying, what the fuck? That's insane. Of course not, I only put out positivity and love. Hugs, not bullets. Are you okay, Ethan? Are you on something at the moment? I'm mad at you because you talk out of your ass non-stop.
See, when I see stuff like this, when I see someone that's clearly mad, right? Someone that's legitimately pissed off at me, when I see them taking stuff so seriously, do you think I'm gonna reply back with that same energy? I'm not gonna scoop down to your level. I'm not gonna start calling you a bitch. And I don't know if I should be giving away these amazing trolling tips. And the more I saw him freaking out and getting mad, the funnier it got, and the more I was just like, you know what, let's just fuck with them. This is my revenge for that horrible call we had.
Who said I'm running away? I don't give a shit about irrelevant freaks I've never talked to. I'm talking to you, but you clearly have nothing to say. Oscar then replied with this glorious image. Ethan dares Oscar to show his face, as if he's ugly. Coming from this guy, it might be self-projection. A Cheeto would then join in, tweeting, my video hating on you has more views than 50% of your own content in the past 2 months. If I'm irrelevant, what does that make you? I haven't posted in 2 months, so the past 2 months is a bad metric, lol.
Do you guys see how the goal is always moving with Ethan? Oh, you guys are relevant. Shows proof of someone doing better than them. Oh, that's not fair because I haven't uploaded in 2 months. They're always moving the goalpost. If they can't get you this way, they'll get you the other way. It's so disingenuous, and it does get me pretty upset, Ethan. So that's about it. You know, Rob's Media continues the story, and there's still a big, and I mean a big chunk of stuff that I didn't get to cover because this video is way too long. Like, I'm looking at the raw file right now and it's over an hour, so this is going to be fun to edit. I think this might be the definitive video. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say regarding that, you know, stuff that I regret, stuff that I take back, stuff that I should have done better, yada yada yada. It was fun to make videos calling him out. They did great, a lot of money, a lot of fun, and I think fun was more important than money in this situation. Like, I just had a blast. Meanwhile, the other guy was pissed. He was mad. He was upset. He wanted to do things to me, maybe even touch me inappropriately. And hey, if you would have asked nicely, I would have probably let you, but now it's too late, bro. Now it's like, nah. But anyways, with that said, what do you guys think? I know this is a super long video, probably the longest one I've ever made. If you liked it and you appreciated my sacrifice to go through my whole history with Ethan, and now I have PTSD for the rest of my life, if you appreciate the sacrifice, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Once again, shout out to Rob's Media. Go check him out. Banger content. And with that said, I'm out. It's 2 a.m. All right, I gotta get some rest.